much, Madam Yemisi. God bless you. Thank you, Madam. Can everybody hear me okay? Just do a quick mic check. Can you give me a thumbs up if you can hear me okay?
We can hear you, sir.
Awesome.
Loud and
Thank you
clear.
so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for that powerful time of prayer, Madam Yemisi. The Lord bless you. Okay. I'd like to welcome everybody to Faith and Works. If you're joining for the first time, we'll be talking very shortly about the things that we do here. But before we get into that, the session we're having today was born out of a need to equip God's people. That's why we call it Toolbox. So if you know someone that will benefit immensely from what I'm about to unpack here today, can I ask that you please invite them? Our Toolbox sessions are like do-it-yourself type sessions. We go very practical. The intention is that you leave here with something. You learn something. You can take it away and you can use that something to do other stuff. That's the intention. It is 100% a session to equip. And the topic around which we're trying to do that equipping is one that there has to be rails, there has to be guardrails around it. It's not one that will go away anytime soon. It's here to stay. And so in that equipping, we're making sure that we equip our people for how to use these tools effectively, because you're going to be competing with these tools as well. When we started to talk about AI, we started off from what it is, what it isn't, where the boundaries should be and things like that. And all you need to do, if you're not even already seeing it around maybe where you work, all you need to do is just open your WhatsApp status. Chances are that if you scroll to 10 statuses, more than half of them would have some contribution from some of what we're going to be discussing today. So I want to urge you, if you know someone that will benefit immensely, please just forward it to them, invite them, tell them they don't want to miss this. In fact, the way I see today's session, a lot of us will need to go back, press pause, play as you practice some of these things. My strong urge to you is when you leave these sessions, don't sleep on it. Practice, do something. Okay. Thank you as you invite someone. I want to thank, for the past 2 weeks, the people who have put in a massive shift to ensure that what God is trying to do in this house, on this platform, continues. You know, the conference we went for, one person said something that struck me. And I'm going to summarize, because we're not teaching or preaching today, but I'm going to summarize it this way. He said sometimes we're wired up for the big names. I'm paraphrasing. We're wired up for the big names. But what we forget is the God that sends men. So while we can get very hung up around those big names, the reality is that at any gathering, as many that are yielded to God, God can literally hijack the vocal cords of someone and express himself through that person. So we should learn to see what God is doing rather than keep our eyes on men. And the reason why I'm saying so is that in this house, this is the culture that we have. And so what God is doing on this platform, it continues. So I want to thank every single person who has been involved in this. The Lord bless you, continue to bless and honor you. This thing is not something we take for granted. You know, on one day we'll all stand before God and we'll have to give an account. You may think the only people who will give account are the pastors with pulpits and congregations that go into the hundreds. Everybody here has a platform. Everybody. You're holding a different kind of mic in your workplace as a business owner, as an entrepreneur. You see, anytime you have audience. Anytime one person, two people are listening to you, it's a platform. And God orchestrates this platform so that at every point in time, He can work through us. You know, the funny thing, God has left the building. Those buildings that we think that's the only place God is, those massive structures where millions will, no. He's working through men. He's working through people in the grassroots. He's working through you. He's working through me. Our platforms are the places where we spend all of our time. And that's why this one, when we talk about faith and works, we're talking about the marketplace. We're talking about that balance between our foundation rooted in Christ and how that gets channeled through us in the marketplace, how that translates into our doings. And the burden was born out of the fact that a lot of people just do prayers. The other part that translates into the doings, it suffers. The other expressions that are supposed to come as a result of a Christian who is rooted in Christ in the workplace is sorely lacking. The quality of work, the output, the due diligence, the research, the works part of it is lacking. And so a lot of what we do here is not entertainment. There's three key things we do. One, business reviews. The business review bit is people who are struggling. People are having to figure out what they need to do. They're confused. There are a lot of things that have ended up maybe blocking their next move as business owners and things like that. We ask them to come here. Come. We don't ask them to come because we beat our chest and say whatever the problem. No. We ask them to come because God is in this place. It means that in our yieldedness, God is able to speak directly to those situations so that those people can see things, ideas, things they can implement and move on. That's why we call it a business review. It's like a clinic. You know, a clinic is not a hospital. The goal of a clinic is not to admit people. The goal of a clinic is to patch them up, give them first aid, get them out, make sure they're able to, whatever is a blocker to their ability to survive, unblock that, let them go out there. So it's out, in and out. A hospital can have X number of beds, stay there for as long as it's not the same operations as a clinic. This place is a clinic. Why? Because a lot of businesses that belong to Christians, there's a lot of struggles. And the way God wires us and our businesses is that He wants us to do business the right way. He wants us to ensure that we don't deviate from some principles that are linked to His kingdom. So that means that you and I cannot do business the way an average person will do business. It's just the way it is. So business reviews. And so what that means is if you know someone who is a believer, you know someone who's struggling in the business, you know someone that this person will benefit from, push them this way. Let them come and talk about their business. Let them bring it up here, and then you begin to see things flow because God has an interest in those things. So we do business reviews. The second thing we do is facilitator sessions, where we bring people who are experts in their field, who have had some unique experiences that can bless us. But we're not looking for motivational speakers. We're not looking for people that's not we're looking for people who have applied kingdom principles and some of the things that they're doing, what they're doing, and they can articulate that for us in order to learn from there. And then we have what we call open mic. Open mic are those topics that don't really come up in our Sunday churches. And this is not a slight on, that's not where I'm going. Where I'm going is there's only so much that can be covered in those places. So these are like, let's bring some of those topics here so we can unpack them. Recently I heard something, it was that same conference that I went, where a believer who had been going to church for the longest time, maybe born in church, still goes to church, born again, tongue speaking, a conversation came up one day in church, and I think if I remember correctly, what that person was saying is that if a born again Christian happens to convert to Islam or something like that, that person will still go to heaven. In fact, let me underline this with a phrase maybe some of you have heard before: once saved, always saved. It means that there is nothing, what that person believed in, a tongue-speaking believer like you and I, what that person believed is that nothing can make a believer who has been saved to lose their salvation. Listen, I'm trying to help us understand that the enemy of our souls is very cunning. What it does is it sees a gap in teaching. and he introduces some assumptions, and people begin to build on those assumptions. Those assumptions have life. Those assumptions become skyscrapers in people's minds. You'll be shocked. So with open mic, what we try and do is bring those things here. Let's talk about it. You'll never know until such a topic comes. And I've heard a lot of people comment about how these sessions have blessed them. And that's the goal, is that one balloon of assumptions is pricked and the truth comes into full view. Because it's only the truth that can make free. Everything else will not. The truth. So we try in those open mic sessions to bring up the truth according to scripture, so that we can all walk away having been edified. That's the goal. What we're doing today is another brick on top of facilitator sessions. You see, for facilitator sessions, one person comes and talks us through stuff. And then God placed the burden on my heart around, sometimes we need to take it a step further. Maybe there's some people who come to those sessions, oh yeah, I've heard what the facilitator is saying, but how can I do this? How do I literally do this by myself? That's what Toolbox sessions solve. Toolbox is open the hood, open the radiator, pour the water yourself, check the oil. This is us getting, this is how to. Now I'm introducing today's topic again. What you're going to learn today is this. Are you a business owner? There's an edge with some of this tooling, some of the tools that are available today in terms of what you can do to bring some of your ideas to life. Now, I'm hoping, because some of you may say, okay, what if I'm not a business owner? How does this? Oh, it does. I'm hoping that you will learn some of the tools we will put on your table today. And when God whispers an idea to you in a vision of the night, a short 10-second message, powerful, you will be able to get up from that place, not only write it down in your journal where you write your encounters or your dreams, you write those things down, that you will get up and you will translate that 10 seconds into a powerful 10-second clip powered by some of the things you will learn today, and post that on your WhatsApp. Because what will then happen is that someone will grab that video, and that video will go to a place where your message, you may not be able to articulate that thing by yourself. This is what I am actually hoping for. But at the minimum, as a business owner, you have an event, you're trying to do something, you don't know how to use these tools yourself. You've seen people do nice stuff. Maybe you even asked for help and someone shut you down because, it seemed like they could do it and you couldn't. Today is that session where you're going to be taught how to do it by yourself. You have a fellowship of 2 or 3 people you want to bring together and you need a flyer too, and you're getting stuck. Today you will learn how to do that stuff by yourself. Your business is about to launch and today you will learn how to do that stuff. You have some ideas around, so today you will learn how to do that stuff. That's why it is an equipping session. So my hope is that you've invited someone. My hope is also that you will now pay attention. My hope also is that you will ask questions. Don't be shy. There's no, you should, no. If you're confused, raise up your hand, put the question in the chat, we'll pick it up. Make sure that over the next 1 hour plus, these people will pour into you. And so it is my honor and my delight to invite 2 of our own. And these people do wonderful stuff. They are creative not just because they've been doing this thing for years, but they are creative also because God has poured into them. Bezalel did not just there are things such as the inspiration of the Almighty. There are things that God stokes in men that when they then translate it, there's a kind of utterance they have that is as the result of a gift. And so today it is my honor to hand us over to Ministers Titi, Allaputa, and also Sir Alexi. I'm going to hand it over to both of them now. I think Titi is going to go first. Like I said, if you have any questions, please post them in the chat. We'll find a way to pick it up and introduce it into what you're going to be learning. But guys, I'm going to hand it over to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Minister T, and thank you so much to the leadership of the house for this opportunity. Please kindly confirm if you can hear me clearly.
Loud and clear.
Oh, awesome. Um, it's interesting that um, Minister T introduced Mr. Alexi and I as creatives, and I think maybe I should start from there. But what I intend to do, my assignment for the next couple of minutes is to lay a foundation um, which Minister Alexi would build on. And I want to talk about storytelling. And I want to talk about that in relation to your business. Like if you can hear my voice and you're a business person or you intend to start a business someday, or if you have a small business already, um, I, I pray and hope that this would really bless you and bring some insight to you and somehow give you some level of direction as to how you would, package, build, develop your business, your brand, and all whatnot. So my presentation today will be focused on basically how stories drive marketing, branding, design, sales, and AI powered growth. Because of course this is AI Toolbox, so um, it's all connected to AI at the end of the day. But if you're a business person, it means that you're selling something. It means that you have a brand. It means that you're trying to grow something. It means that there's some kind of design, and it means that there's marketing. But since Minister Tosi mentioned creativity, it came to my mind when he introduced us as creatives, and it came to my mind that really we are actually all creative beings. And it's kind of sad for me personally that a lot of people do not think that they are creative. Like I've heard many believers say, I'm not creative. And the funny thing is that the same person saying that, who says they are not creative, somehow figured out how to stretch 20K through an entire month, or how to just negotiate with 3 suppliers, for their business, or how to convince a difficult customer, or even just how to organize, maybe like a small event or party, or even you that you already have a business going on and you're like, see that social media thing, please, is for people that know how to create stuff. But it's not a lack of creativity. That's basically, like all these examples I gave, it's basically creativity operating without being recognized. And the greatest lie many entrepreneurs believe is not that they are incapable. It is that creativity belongs to a gifted few. And that's not true. And scriptures would even show us that we are creative beings. If you look at the theology of creativity, the first thing God reveals about himself is not that he's holy, it's not that he's loving, it's not that he's powerful. The first thing he reveals is that he's a creator. In Genesis 1, in the beginning, God created. So before God preached, ruled, judged, healed, delivered, all of those things, he created. And then he made man in his image. So if you were made in his image, it means that you're a creative being. If God is creative and you carry his image, then creativity is not optional to your design. It's a part of your inheritance. It's a part of your identity. Creativity is not merely artistic ability. Creativity is the ability to produce solutions. And that's why I'm going to talk, about your business, right? Creating solution. Creativity is bringing order to chaos. Creativity is discovering possibilities where others only see problems. When you think about Joseph used creativity. Daniel used creativity. Nehemiah, all of these people. So the kingdom has always advanced through inspired solutions. But what I found lately is that a lot of people, especially Christians, become creatively lazy for different reasons. Sometimes it's just fear of failure and lack of innovation. People would rather repeat what works than risk building something new. There's the religious conditioning where many believers, unconsciously would just separate spirituality from innovation. They think, oh, prayer is spiritual, but business strategy is secular. Yes, God gave Noah architectural plans. God gave Bezalel artistic intelligence. God gave Joseph economic strategy. All over the Bible, you see different areas where there was the inspiration of the Almighty. The Bible never separates spirituality from innovation. Another reason that, just thinking about it, that I've come to find that has made a lot of people creatively lazy and unable to put some thought into their work, into their business, is convenience culture. Because technology has made information easier to access. Unfortunately, it has also made thinking optional. Many people just scroll when they should think. They just consume when they should create. People just copy when they should actually innovate. And AI is exposing this reality. The people who will always win are not those who just merely use AI, but people who can creatively use AI. And that is what Mr. Alexi would be showing us, how to use this thing, not for you, basically to show you a skillful way to use it, not just teaching you that, oh, these are the tools and this is where you click, but how you can think through it and not have it be mechanical. AI will never replace creative people. But one thing that I know is that creative people using AI will replace people who refuse to tap into their creativity. I just said to touch on creativity, and probably I might just connect that to storytelling. But the main thing I want to talk about is storytelling for your business. The flyers you put out, the 60 seconds short video clips you put out. It is all storytelling. Your website, it is all storytelling. Storytelling matters a lot. For me, I've been making film for it's been 10 years. This year should make it 10 years since film school. So as a filmmaker and a storyteller, one lesson that I learned very quickly in film school was that facts informs, but stories transforms. Nobody would remember a spreadsheet. People don't remember statistics and all of that stuff. But what people always remember is a story. Nobody repeats statistics at dinner. People repeat stories. Even when you look at the life of Jesus, Jesus understood this. Nearly 1/3 of his teachings came through parables. He could have delivered lectures. Instead, he told stories. Why? Because stories bypass resistance. Stories create emotional connection. Stories make truth memorable. Now am I going with this? I'm going to show you how successful businesses have been able to not just sell a product, but they've been able to sell ideas. They've been able to sell stories that people could connect with. And through that, their businesses have thrived. And I hope that at the end of this, maybe some of us business people that are here would go back and think about, how do I rebrand my business? How do I develop my business? What am I really selling? Because we get caught up in, I'm just trying to make money. So it's just transaction. But how do you increase your market share? How do you get your customers to keep coming? So again, creativity is a process. Many people think creativity is random inspiration. It's not. Creativity is usually a process. You observe, you connect, you experiment, you refine, you execute. And AI fits into this process beautifully, not as replacement, but as an accelerator. So there's the need for you to create, to use your innovative mind. And then AI exists so that this thing can just be enhanced. So many people, right, think creativity just means being artistic, being imaginative, having unique ideas. But while that's true, it's not necessarily all there is to it. Creativity is the ability to connect ideas around a meaningful narrative. And storytelling provides the narrative framework. Without storytelling, right, your flyers that you create for your business and you post and all that, they just become random. It's just going to be words flying around and colors, and it's just going to be designed. It's fine. But when people see it, could they pause? Were you able to get their attention? Were you able to make them feel like, I want to be part of this? When is the time? When is the date? I want to connect with this thing. Otherwise, your flyers will just be random. You're like, without storytelling, your designs will just become decorative. Your ads will just become noisy. People will scroll through it. Your social media will just become inconsistent. But storytelling gives creative direction. And storytelling is one of the most powerful skills you never stop learning. People may forget facts, like I said, but they will rarely forget stories. What changed the world more? Was it statistics? Was it strategy? It was story. People remember the story of David and Goliath. People remember Nelson Mandela's perseverance story. People remember the story of how Apple started in a garage. People remember the story of Martin Luther King. Like, think about the story of Martin Luther King and how the African American community respond to that story to this day. You'll find that stories shape beliefs, stories shape actions, and actions shape history. So storytelling, what is it really? It is not the transfer of information, it is the transfer of meaning through emotion. So facts will just inform, but stories will transform. Data tells people what happened, but stories will help people feel why that thing that happened matters. There's a science behind storytelling. I remember when I was in film school and I was learning, screenplay and all, one of the things that I learned was the science behind storytelling. Did you know that stories activate multiple parts of the brain simultaneously? When people hear facts, language centers would activate. But when people hear stories, emotions activate, imaginations activate, memory activates, empathy activates. Stories create experiences without requiring people to live there. It creates relatability. It's like a simulation of reality. And the biggest mistake businesses make is that they don't tell stories. Most businesses believe they are selling products, services, features, expertise, but they are not. They're supposed to be selling a story. A customer rarely buys because of what something is. They buy because of what it means. Let me give you an example so that this can make more sense. A wristwatch tells time, right? Yet people spend, say, $20,000 on a luxury wristwatch. Why? Because they're not buying time. They're buying a story about success, achievement, status, and identity. The best businesses understand this. People buy products that support the story they tell about who they are. So business is storytelling at scale. Think about every major business success story, right? Major business success stories. People don't just know the company, they know the narrative. Think about Apple. The story is not technology. The story is think different. Think about Nike. A lot of us wear their sneakers. The story is not shoes. The story is you can become more than you are today. Tesla, the story is not electric cars. When you study successful brands, one thing that you will find, because personally I've taken my time to even look at some of these successful brands, and the one thing I observed is that the strongest brands are stories that happen when you sell this product. So it's more about the story you're telling than the product you're just selling. And one of the biggest misconceptions in business is that successful companies win because they have better products. No. If that were true, many famous brands would never have become market leaders. The reality is that people do not experience businesses objectively. They experience businesses through stories. And a story is the lens through which customers interpret your product. The story is the lens through which, they interpret your services, your pricing, your reputation, the value that you bring. The most successful brands, if you check it, in the world, they are not necessarily the ones with the best products. They are the ones that, that tell the clearest and most compelling stories. Let me make this more. How can I make this make sense? Okay, think about, let's touch on certain brands. These brands that I've called, Coca-Cola just came to my mind. The Coca-Cola company, it rarely advertises a drink per se, or maybe the ingredients. You don't see commercials discussing carbonated water, sugar content, flavor compounds, all of that stuff. No. When you look at, take your mind back if you've ever seen any Coca-Cola advert, right? What you find is Coca-Cola campaigns you see stuff like family reunions. You see stuff like Christmas decorations, friendship, right? You see stuff like sporting events, shared experiences. They even went to the extent of localizing, the ads where you will see Coke bottles and it had people's names on it. Like even in Nigeria here, you see certain Coca-Cola bottles at some point, it had our Nigerian names on it. That was business strategy. But a typical consumer would not even think about it. It was emotionally appealing to them. You go to a supermarket, you open the fridge, your name is Ayo, and then you're seeing a Coca-Cola bottle and you're seeing Ayo there. You want to pick Coca-Cola, unless maybe you just, for whatever reason, maybe health reasons, you just do not drink Coke. Otherwise, you most likely pick that thing. It is strategy. The message is never buy this drink when you look at their ads. The message is this drink belongs in your happiest moments. Over time, the brand became emotionally connected to joy. If you think about any Coca-Cola ads you've ever seen before, it's like, these people are having so much fun. Like, am I going to be having so much fun if I'm drinking Coke like this? And the lesson for any small business here is that, say for example, if you own a bakery, you're not selling bread. You're selling family breakfast. You're selling birthday memories. You're selling celebration moments. And I'm just pointing these things out so that you can personalize it. As I'm speaking, you're thinking about it and you're like, what am I really selling? You're baking stuff, but it's not so that you can get, that money and then give them the bread or the cake or whatever it is. What am I selling? How am I going to build my brand when I consider this thing? Sometimes we need to look at some of these successful brands and take some cues from them. What are you really branding your business to be? If you own a photography business, you're not selling photos. You're selling memories. You're selling legacy. You're selling nostalgia. The product is rarely the real product. Even Nike, I referenced Nike before. Nike ads, I don't know who has seen, Nike ads before, but instead of focusing on shoes, they focus on struggle, discipline, perseverance, achievement. We watch these things, we get entertained, but we never really pause. And if you're a business person and you're seeing ads, you need to pause and take a second look at it and look beyond the fun of it. Look at the details. What are these people really trying to do? Look at they pay attention to customer psychology as well. They need you to connect to it. At the end of the day, they get their profits. They get to sell the product eventually. But you don't even realize that, because what happens is that somehow they're able to pull you in. They're able to to somehow understand their customer psychology and tell that story, and you're able to connect, and you're being pulled in, and you love the product, and even you don't even really understand what just happened with you, but you just know that Nike, I like it, I'm wearing it, I'm matching it with whatever outfit I'm wearing. And then you see athletes go for it. Then your favorite athlete is wearing it, and they're like, he's wearing Nike, LeBron James is wearing Nike, I want to wear Nike. Stuff like that. But they're focusing on perseverance when you look at their ads, achievements, and all of that stuff. What's their slogan? Just do it. It's not about footwear, it's about identity. Nike stories, you are stronger than your excuses. That's the story they're trying to tell. What story are you trying to tell with your business? So before we get into knowing how to do these AI tools, when you want to brand and package your business, I'm trying to see how, with this, I can be able to challenge your ability to think, be creative, and be more innovative. How do you brand your business? How do you market? What are you really selling at the end of the day? Apple. I just need to talk about Apple. You see, Apple, there's this thing with transform technology marketing, but before Apple, technology companies would always just sell, they sold specifications, processor speed, memory size, technical features, and all of that stuff. But Apple came, and there's the famous quote unquote think different. And that campaign featured Albert Einstein, what's that guy's name again? Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King. And Apple wasn't saying buy a computer or buy a phone. Apple was saying join the tribe of people who change the world. That is the storytelling at the identity level. And if you're a small business owner, don't just ask, what am I selling? Ask, what kind of person uses my product? You also need to understand who your customers are. You need to really know who your clients are. It's not just everybody and all. These days, people are just dancing on TikTok and trying to sell stuff, but you need to be very strategic to know the people you are selling to. Then you need to understand your customer psychology. You need to understand marketing properly, advertising. You need to know what is trending, all of these things. You need to know what value really is my product. What value am I putting on my product? And that answer shapes your entire marketing strategy. I can go on and on giving examples from the adverts we've seen with MTN, with Indomie, all of, like, there are many brands. Like, speaking of Indomie, is one of the most powerful examples in Africa. Indomie was selling childhood and comfort. Like, the product is noodles. The story is childhood, home, simplicity, comfort, easy stuff. And many Africans don't nearly eat noodles. They have memories attached to it. And the memories are storytelling assets. I don't know if anybody can remember back in the day, Indomie adverts where they were singing, to me, to you, it's up to us to make the world a better place. How is, like, think about what they're singing, and they're just selling noodles for people to eat till today. Now that ad doesn't exist anymore, but somehow there's a solution that noodles is bringing to a lot of people. It's saving students and even people who are not students. It's quick, and people are still buying it. People are still going for it. Somehow they have the market. And the competitors that have come, yet it's still there. They've maintained a steady growth rate. There's all of that. And one last example, I just need to touch on this because there are also people that are in real estate business, right? I believe here. And when you think about Airbnb is selling belonging, right? They're not selling accommodation. They're selling belonging. Airbnb entered a market dominated by hotels. When you think about when Airbnb first started, it was a market dominated by hotels. So instead of competing on rooms, they told a different story. Their message was, you can belong anywhere. We imagine. I remember Airbnb has this ad where they had this caption that says, "We imagine a world where you can belong anywhere." Right? So hotels sold accommodation, and even with hotels, these are deluxe room, is going for so amount. You're just trying to. That is not how to really capture your customers. You should first understand storytelling, understand who your customers are and what you're trying to sell. People can bring out money for something that is even fake. If a good story is told, they will buy something that is even fake, because somehow that story was able to appeal to their emotions somehow. So Airbnb sold experiences, but hotels sold buildings. Airbnb sold belonging. What's the lesson here when you look at Airbnb? Sometimes the best storytelling comes from just changing the category entirely. The setup with hotels is different from the setup with Airbnb. And even, very practically, for a real estate business, many real estate agents would advertise, 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, 2 garages. Those are features. You can't necessarily sell just like that. Stories would always sell better instead of selling like that. Instead, say stuff like, this is people trying to buy a house. Say, we see this a lot in movies, but it happens in real life. Maybe people are moving from one city to another city, or maybe a couple just starting a family together and they're trying to buy a house. You're trying to sell stuff like, this is where your children will take their first steps. Like, these are hints at the kind of ad you will do to appeal to their emotion, to be like, this is something that I think we should get it. You say stuff like, this is where Christmas dinners become family traditions. In your ad, in whatever short video you're putting out, whatever flyer you're putting out, you say stuff like, this is where your next chapter begins. The house becomes a story, not just a building, 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. Of course, those are features, that is information, but that doesn't necessarily pull them in to want to buy. Of course, there's the work you do to make sure that the product you're selling is quality product, but that's not the conversation now. The conversation is creativity, storytelling, how to leverage AI to make this work. And I'm running out of time. I will be handing over to Minister Alexi soon, but I just want to touch on a few things. So there are 4 stories every business must tell. And most business focus only on one story, our company. And this is usually the least interesting story about your company, right? Instead, every business needs to focus on the customer story, because the customer is the hero, not you. And this changes everything. Many businesses say, we have 15 years of experience. Customers are thinking, so what am I supposed to do with that? You have 15 years of experience, so what? How does that help me? Instead, tell the story of the customer's transformation. How can this thing help them? How can they benefit from it? The package, this package, so that means it helps me economically. I get to save, stuff. This thing makes it easier for me to do this. I can actually have use this device, and the user interface is a lot smoother, is not so complicated, stuff like that. There's also the brand story, and your brand story should touch on, why does your business exist? These are questions that you need to consider as a business person. You have a small business, you have a growing business, you need to go back to the drawing board and ask those questions, sit on it, think about it. Why does your business exist? What problem are you solving? What future are you creating? What are your customers' pain points, and how are you dealing with that? People buy missions before they buy product. There's the product story too. What transformation does this product create? Because you don't only just describe features, you describe outcomes. Say, for example, say, okay, battery, right? Battery lasts 48 hours. The story is stay productive through your busiest days without searching for a charger. That's how you can sell something like that. Say maybe is some device that you're trying to sell. I'm just trying to give like random examples from the top of my head, but you can apply this to your personal business. And then there's also the vision story. Where are you leading people? Great businesses sell tomorrow. People follow those who paint compelling futures. Like, okay, but that is why a lot of people just, I feel like 70% of people use iPhone. Because somehow there's this thing about the future when it comes to this technology. And people are really, really aligning with that. And just to touch on marketing very quickly, right? Most marketing fail because it begins with the business. But great marketing always begins with the pain points, the tension. Every story starts with a problem. No problem, no attention. If there's no tension, no pain points, there's no engagement. Like, how does this benefit me? They keep scrolling. If you're not solving a problem, nobody is purchasing anything from you. So if you're a small business owner, you're probably the CEO, the marketer, the CFO, and everything. So if you're going to market, the marketer's job is not merely to advertise. It is to identify the tension already existing inside the customer. For example, you're selling something that has to do with weight loss. You're dealing on someone's frustration about their weight. There's business coaching, even with say your business is something about training people. You're not just trying to sell models and stuff like that. You're trying to sell them the opportunity, or more like you're trying to sell them the idea that I can get opportunities through this that would make my career go the next level. It's not also we have you don't just put that out there. Make people see value in what you're bringing. So marketing becomes powerful when it speaks directly into existing tension, where there's a need. Even with flyers, let me touch on flyers. Most flyers fail because they look attractive, but there's no story. A flyer should create a journey in seconds, right? Whoever's looking at it should immediately understand the current reality, like, okay, what is this? How does it benefit me? Okay, so how do I get there? What are the call to action? What should I do next? There's the colors and everything. There's the typography, all of that stuff is, but what is the story behind it that would get people's attention? So, for example, a week flyer could look like, oh, business growth seminar, date, time, venue, boom, that's it. It's just information. But then a stronger flyer could look like where somebody could say stuff like, your business is working hard. Why isn't it growing? Discover the systems used by successful businesses to scale profits and attract better customers. Now, any business person is like, whoa, this thing, maybe there might be something I can get here because, man, I need my business to grow. Let me plug in and see what's up with that. So you notice the difference between the two. There's a need to create curiosity. There's a need for people to see, okay, maybe there's value here. To see, okay, this thing benefits me. Nobody cares about your business. They care about what they can gain out of it. So when you're branding, a brand is not just a logo. It's not just about the colors. It's not just about the typography. These things are just visual expressions. A brand is a story people believe. Think about this. People see a logo, then instantly they feel something. Why? Because logos become containers for stories. So we need to put in a lot of thought into whatever we are doing. There needs to be a lot of thought into it. So when you're advertising, Again, just like those ads that I referenced, the Coca-Cola one and all those ones, you notice that the best ads, they don't really feel like ads. They feel like miniature stories. They have structure, all of that stuff. So this is where many businesses, right, are missing opportunity. And now we're coming to AI. AI does not create great marketing. AI amplifies great thinking. So you don't expect AI to just market for you. If you're not thinking, if you're not tapping into your creativity, like I said, we are creative beings. So as a Christian, as an image bearer, you have no right to say, me, I'm not creative. No, you are creative. You're just not tapping into that part of yourself. You are made in the image and likeness of the Creator. So you are creative. So you cannot expect AI to think for you, because you were designed by a divine being. AI was designed by someone who a divine being designed. So you need to be able to think. You need to be able to be innovative. AI will not do your marketing for you. It will just help make you work more efficiently, help you to be faster. Maybe if you have a deadline, it will just enhance stuff. It just amplifies great thinking. Storytelling provides the thinking. AI provides execution speed. Basically, that is what it is. So before using AI, we need to answer certain questions, right? Who are my customers? What do they want? Why does this matter? What are the obstacles? What limitations am I seeing? How can I overcome them? And think about transformation. What changes after using our solution? These answers will now become the foundation for your flyers, your social media posts, your email campaigns, your landing pages, your website design, your advertising, your sales presentation, your pitch, you're trying to get investors or whatever, your brand messaging, all of that. When you're able to answer these things, then it will be a foundation for all of these other things. So many businesses will have access to AI. Many businesses will have access to design tools. Many businesses will have access to automation, but those are no longer advantages. The advantage is the ability to create meaning. AI can generate content, but humans, image bearers, right? Creatives, and you are a creative. You must provide narrative. AI can create images, but humans must define the story. AI can write advertisements, but as an image bearer, you must understand people. You must understand customer psychology. You must know your customers, what they like. You must understand consumer behavior. You must know what your competitors are also doing. This thing takes a lot of intentionality, observation. It takes hard work. It's not just about transaction. Let me do this thing and collect money. It is a lot of work, but there's always grace for this thing if you really put your heart to it. The businesses that win will not necessarily be those with the best AI. They will be those with the clearest story. Right? So if you look closely at almost every successful company, they do not market products. They market transformation. They market identity. They market belonging. They market hope, achievement. They market possibility. The product is simply the vehicle. The story is the destination. And the businesses that understand this are able to create marketing, branding, advertisement, flyers, presentations, websites, social media content, and AI-generated campaigns that do more than attract attention. They move people because it is at that deepest level where business is not an exchange of money for products, but instead it is an invitation for people to step into a better version of their story. So the future will not belong to people with the most tools. It will belong to the people with the clearest vision, the deepest wisdom and the strongest creativity, and the courage to use every legitimate tool that God has placed in your hands. So you need to understand that you were created by the Creator, and you're in His image and likeness. So you are also a creator. You were designed to solve problems. Your business can be designed to solve problems and not just be one of those other struggling small businesses. You were called to influence culture too. So your business exists in the marketplace for a purpose, but it takes understanding these things and putting in the effort for it to really fulfill the potential it can fulfill. And perhaps AI is not here to replace your creativity. Perhaps it's here to reveal how creative you can become. So with all of this said, please let's get into the practical side as Minister Alexi takes over. But I just hope this was insightful. I hope this has inspired certain business owners here to go back to the drawing board, rethink their businesses, find ways to restructure, and ask themselves certain questions that they can sit with the Holy Spirit to answer, and then look around them and check what they have in their hands. Just the way Moses had his staff in his hands, and that could do miraculous stuff. Check, maybe it's AI that you have in your hands, or maybe you have one money that you can use and invest that can take you to another level. But check what you have in your hands that can take your business to the next level. But you need to be thinking in the right direction. Yeah, so thank you. Over to you, Minister Alexi.
Wow. Can we put up emojis for or even put in the comments how powerful what Madam Titi just shared is? I mean, so powerful. I'm here listening and I'm like, wow, I'm learning so much from what she's saying. And it totally laid the foundation for what I'm about to say, because, like she said, we're not just here to, let's say, oh, we have AI, so let's just create. What will separate, people that actually get great results from those that are just one of the bunch, even with this AI that we have with us, is what she's talking about, storytelling. I even heard someone that said, because now everyone has AI at their fingertips and it's free for the most part. What in a few years, the people that even businesses that will stand out are businesses that actually build their personal brands and their stories, right? Because it's easy for anyone to just plug in things into AI and things just come up for them. But if people are loyal to your brand, people are loyal to your story, then you can get good business. All right, thank you so much, Madam Titi. That was so powerful, such a powerful word, teaching. And so I'm actually gonna try to even incorporate a lot of what she said into what I'll be talking about, I'll be sharing. I actually wanted to be very practical, so I didn't even really put a lot of things together. I would love if anyone, you can feel free to put on the chat, let's say if you want to see an example of, let's say, a product or a business or a service with what I'm about to talk about. You can put on the chat and we will use it. That's how I wanted it to be. So I didn't really put together like a presentation and say, because we want it to be very practical. Now I'm hoping you can see my screen, because I think I shared my screen. If you can see it, kindly let me know. Shared my screen.
Yep, it's visible.
Awesome. All right, great. So we're gonna jump into it. Your AI, like she said, it speeds up execution. Now we're even going into the we're going into AI agents now, where you literally have a machine AI doing your marketing for you, doing your sales for you, almost like as a human being would do it. So you don't even have to do much at all. So that's like the phase that we're moving into, and it's getting very, very interesting, very interesting. But for the purposes of this practical, we're gonna work as if we're the ones, plugging in stuff and everything. So your business has many aspects to it. I'm gonna work with a few AI programs that can help you with it, with maybe different aspects of your business. Now, if anyone can put on the chat like a service or a product or even a type of business that they would want to see, us use right off the bat, you can go ahead. You can go ahead. Like I said, I want it to be as practical as possible. So there are many AI programs out there, and many more are coming up every day. They're obviously popular ones, and most of them have, a free version where you start, and then if you want to build up on it, you get the pro versions. The popular ones we all know is ChatGPT and maybe Gemini. Maybe DeepSeek too, but ChatGPT is usually the go-to for a lot of people. If you're a business owner or even an employee, or you're in, ChatGPT and Claude, especially nowadays, Claude is coming up very strong. Like Madame Gucci demonstrated what she does with it the other time. It's like, if you're not, and especially with even what Madame Gucci demonstrated, if we're not really getting up to par with this thing, I feel like we're really lagging behind. I always think if Paul the Apostle had some of these tools, he probably would have written who knows how many books he would have written. But like he said, by grace he labors hard, and I think it's high time for us to also try to use the tools we have. I was waiting for anyone to put a product or a service up, but I'm not seeing any. So I'm probably just gonna come up with something. Let's say we sell clothes. Okay, we sell clothes, because I know there's quite a number of people here that do that on the tribe. So let's say we sell clothes. We have a business. We already have our branding package put together. We have our story, maybe the story of the owner, how they maybe struggled after college and they sold something, a story that will attract people. We already have all of those things, and let's say we want to build a website, right? So a website is one of the aspects of your business. It's kind of like your online store. You're selling clothes, so you want people to see a website. Before AI came, or before where we are right now, you would probably need to hire a web developer, a website designer, and probably pay them, I don't know, depending on the country you're in, but if we were to convert to dollars, probably a good maybe $200 or maybe less, for them to get it done for you. But guess what? Now, I remember when when I saw where this thing is going, I was like, oh my God, I mean, all these people are losing their jobs now, because you don't need a web designer any longer. It is crazy where we're getting to. So there's an AI program called Lovable. You can, if you don't know it, Lovable.dev. Lovable.dev. This is for website building or app building, and it's just crazy what it's able to do. Like I mentioned earlier, a lot of these have free, they'll give you free credit to use, but if you want to do more, then obviously you get the pro, which you would have to buy credit. So for Lovable, let's say I wasn't logged in, you could just use your Google account to create an account. It's very simple. Most of these programs, they make it very simple for you to be able to create an account and all that stuff. So Lovable is the one I know, is the one that is one of the top popular ones for building websites and building apps. Lovable, Lovable.dev. So Lovable. So I have this the clothing business. I've stalled on building a website because I couldn't pay a web designer or whatnot, but now I have a free Lovable account. So, got an idea, Alexi, because I already put signed in with my Google account. So let's say I just put in and also just so we call something prompt engineering. Don't let it scare you. It's just people that will learn to use AI more and more and prompt more and more will basically become familiar with the way to speak to it to generate, the good things that generate good results for you. Now also understand that you can even prompt AI to give you a prompt to put into the program and give you good results. I hope you understand what I say. So I can go to Chat GPT and say, hey, just normal talk. Hey, I have a clothing store and I want to build a website. Give me a prompt for in fact, let's do that so you see what I'm talking about, which is makes things so easy. So you don't have to worry about, oh, I don't know how to, prompt and stuff like that. So I go to Chat GPT, or even you could do Claude, but I something like this I use Chat GPT more often. But let's say I have a clothing business and I want to build a website for it. Generate a prompt for me to use an AI program to create the website. My mind is all over the place. So, okay, let's start with this. So this is ChatGPT. So we just want to have a prompt that will. So now it's asking for the brand name. Let's say we just give it. It's a lot. I don't know if. So it's done it already. I didn't really have to think. Now, like Madam Titi was saying, if I wanted to include the story of my business, I would have done that, but for the sake of time, we can't do all of that right now. So now I got ChatGPT to generate a prompt for me. Now I go back to Lovable and I put it in. Let's say the name of the business is, I don't know, Alexi Clothing. So I'm building a website through Lovable for my clothing business that we just made up, Alexi Clothing. So that I could just kind of go through it. All right, let's see what it comes up with. So I entered. So Lovable, like I said, builds websites and develops apps as well. And you literally put in prompts and it just creates it for you in just a matter of seconds. Sometimes it might. Okay, so how would you like to set up Shopify? Okay, I probably shouldn't, for the sake of that, I'm probably just skip, man. We don't have time. We just want to see what it's able to do. Okay, because I put it in live, it's trying to review everything. All right, create Shopify. This. Just skip. We don't have time for that. Probably should have deleted that. So we're creating a website for our clothing company that we just created, and we're seeing how Lovable, an AI program, is able to create this website for us in just a matter of seconds. Something that, so it's asking for the palette. Okay, great. Let's say I want this. There's something that if I already had my branding packet, I probably would have just put in all, but like I said, we're just creating everything from scratch. Okay, so typographic. Okay, let's say we want this. Yeah, this one. All right. So it's still cooking our website. And for Lovable, the free version will give you 5 credits every day, forever. So you can literally, if you spend the 5 credits today, and let's say you want to do more today, then you would have to opt for the pro, pay for the pro version to be able to have more credits, or you can just wait for tomorrow and then new credits will load up, and then you can just be using the free version, you know, forever. But you know, sometimes when you're running a business, you might want to, especially if. But then for the website, you probably just need to build it one time, depending on your business, unless you need to keep editing it. All right, so let's just skip everything. So we go straight to seeing our website. Okay. All right. Yeah, it's probably because I put in a lot of stuff. Probably should have just made it very simple, but it should be done soon. So that's what Lovable does. So once it's done, we will literally have the website, and it will actually give us, okay, looks like you're getting there. It will give us it will create a domain with Lovable in it. So let's say Alexi clothing, that Lovable, that app. But then I can now buy my own domain name, custom domain name, and then use it. And so literally in just a matter of seconds or maybe minutes, I have a whole website. I can actually upload pictures of my clothes on here, and tell it to use it for the website. Put in the pricing, even put in a payment gateway. It's so crazy how easy this thing has become. It will literally connect, bring in the payment gateway, have you log in, and then basically connect it. Like if you're using Stripe, connect it for you, and then you will see it, bam, on your website, where people can literally pay for it. It's amazing. It's amazing. So it's still okay. It's still creating. So I put in a lot of prompts. So sorry about that. We should have made it very simple. So I hope it's almost done. Let's add in pictures. And as it's creating it, I know you can see what it's doing. It's literally showing you what it's doing, you know, real time. So we're still building so this is website for our clothing store. Like I said earlier, if you have some type of, you know, maybe product, service, business that you want to see, just, oh, there we go. I have about 2. How can AI help my sales? Okay, so catfish, okay, so basically a catfish business, okay. All right, so we will, for the next stuff, we will try doing stuff with catfish and have a that's about you want to sell in 2 months. Yeah, you don't want to wait till then before searching for. Okay, all right, so for the next thing that we will do, we will use the catfish business. Where did my thing go? Okay. All right, so we're still working on the website. Maybe we have to go to the next thing and then come back to it once it's done. So next, let's go into, let's say, flyers, because let's say for your business, say catfish business, your you know, you want to create a flyer and post on, let's say, website status, WhatsApp status, you want to post on Facebook, and then create an ad with it and stuff like that. So you want to create a flyer. For flyers, what I use for the most part will be either I like ChatGPT's generative abilities when it comes to flyers. I do, but the only thing is, a lot of people, it's like it starts to look the same kind of. So I will literally put in the prompt, don't make it look like AI. Yeah, I don't know, somehow it gets it. So you know, because a lot of people are using AI now, even for flyers. So somehow they're starting to look the same, but you can literally tell it what it shouldn't look like or how it should look like. So yours will actually look like perhaps it was a human being that designed it, right? So, well, a human being that literally, you know, maybe put the pieces together as opposed to AI. Okay, so we will come back to our website, our beautiful clothing website. But now let's try a flyer for our catfish business. Okay, so it's either ChatGPT for me or Gemini. Gemini is also good. I know some people use Mid-Journey. ChatGPT, I'm sure a lot of us have it. Gemini is Google's version, and it's also very good. So let's try ChatGPT for now. So catfish. Let me go back and read what our brother. Yeah, I think our brother. Sorry if it's a lady. Okay, so 25,000 catfish. Okay, so basically, yeah, we want AI to help our sales. So I'm just creating a flyer for it, because obviously a flyer can be a creative that you can use for the ads. Okay, so I don't know if maybe you want to post the name of the business. If not, that's fine. We just want to create a flyer that we can use as a creative for an ad. Okay, so let me go back to, let's say, generate ChatGPT an image of a realistic catfish. I'll put in parentheses. I'm going to use to create a flyer for my business ad. Okay, so let's see where it comes up. So we want to first have a picture, okay, of a catfish. I like to do it in steps so it doesn't look, or sometimes I could just generate something entirely, and then maybe tell it to take stuff out and maybe put stuff in. But for catfish, somehow I just want to see what the catfish will look like first. Okay, so same with ChatGPT, you have the free version, but if you're someone that uses it a lot and maybe you generate a lot of pictures, sometimes it will slow down, or it will tell you, hey, you know, your credits are basically used up and you have to wait for maybe 10 hours before you get your credits to be able to generate more pictures. Okay, so I think our website is done. Yay. Ooh, look at that. So preview. Usually I do these on my phone, so I'm doing it on the laptop. So there's a website, but I'm trying to see it as okay, so that's a website on the right. Very nice, very beautiful. I'm trying to make it full screen so we see it, but so as you can see, crafted in Lagos, one worldwide. So as you can see here, in just a matter of minutes, I literally have a website for my clothing brand. Again, I hope you can see it clearly. I'm trying to I don't want to mess something up. So let's see. Okay, there we go. There we go. So look at that. That's my website. Any changes I want to make, I literally put it here on the left, and it will literally in real time make it for me. Let's say, let's go first. So there's a website, you know, shop, shop woman, men journal about, you know, that's the name of the brand, Alexi clothing. I might start clothing brand. Anyway, that's good. So then I scroll down the categories. You know, born in Lagos. I don't know where I told I'm in Lagos. So it says right here, read our story, like Madam Titi was talking about. So we can literally, you know, change our story here, whatever they prefer us. Shop all, you know, So right in front of you, we just create a website. You know, have customer testimonials. All these you can literally put here, change this and make it this. And I'll try just one for you to see. Join our community. If you click here, typically it will have the emails go to the email used for Lovable, but you can also let it know the email you want it to go to. Then you can have AI program like HubSpot, do your email marketing and all kinds of stuff. It's just amazing. Like I said, it has all these already done for you, privacy policy, terms, and everything. Like you literally have your website in just a few minutes. Let's say I want to change word confidence, define your style. Okay, let's say I'm like, okay, change where confidence, define your style to something different. I don't know. I was trying to come up with something where confidence to let's just, so you see how I can tell it to do what I want. Confidence, define your let's say swag. Okay, there we go. So I told it because it's done with the website, but I'm showing you how you can literally have it, change certain things and have it be as you want it in just a few seconds. So I put in the prompt on the left, change word confidence, as we see here, define your style to word confidence, define your swag. Okay, and then enter. Let's see what it does. So you have your shop in here. Again, like I said, you can add your payment gateway. So again, this is lovable.dev. And then once you're done, you see publish on the top right. You click publish and it will publish it to a domain, but it will have lovable.dev in it. And then you can, if you have a custom domain, you can tell it, to, there we go. So see that in just less than a minute, word confidence, define your swag. All right, so it literally just did that for me in just a few seconds. So you don't need a web designer. You can literally build your own business website in just a few minutes and literally tell it to make any edits you want. So once I don't want to, for the sake of time, like I said, you just hit publish. And then if you see, it gave me a website URL. See here under it says add custom domain. If I already bought a custom domain, which you can buy from GoDaddy.com or HostGator.com, there's a number of them. I can literally put it here and it will tell me to put in my account details for, let's say if I bought it from GoDaddy.com, or you can actually buy it from Lovable. I put it in there and it will just connect it. It's amazing. So we have seen right here, right in front of us, we literally just built a website. So I mean, it's like we have no more excuses. And for free, that's one thing I want to point out, for free. Only thing we might have to buy is the domain name. The custom domain name. Let's say if I wanted to get alexiclothing.com, that I would have to buy, and typically it would be like 99 cents or something like that, $1 or something like that. But then if you wanna, for a year, maybe some will be $3 something, I forgot. Yeah, so basically for just for the website is free, and for just maybe under $10 I can get a domain, and I didn't have to pay someone $200 or $300 to get a website. I have my website, I can, for free, I can always come back, put in an edit, bam bam bam, it's good to go. You don't need anyone to charge you big amounts of money. You can literally build your website in minutes, as we have just seen. Okay, so now let's go back to our catfish business.
See, there's help on here. Okay. All right, so you gave the name. Okay, awesome.
So I got that journal. Okay. Okay, so let's use the name. We don't have the logo. If we had a logo, we could have just plugged it in. So go. Oh no, that's a catfish. Catfish. Okay. Why is this thing in front of my? Oh. Okay, there we go. All right, so we have our catfish created. So we put in the name of our business. Why is this thing hiding my thing? Okay. The name. So I'm putting another prompt to create the flyer. The name of the business is bam. We don't have the logo, so I can actually tell it, okay, so generate a logo for it, and generate a flyer to sell 25,000 catfish in Ibo Ogun State. Let's say, then obviously we need a call to action. We need to put a phone number and stuff. So let's just put a generic phone number. Phone number is, I don't even know what phone number to put, but I can just put any number. 59890. That's Ghanaian numbers. Anyway, and then let's say if we have already built a website, which is, I've demonstrated, it's very easy to build our website. Is Abaravand Superior. Let's say www.abaravand.com. And then, so typically, using generate, I like to put the size of the flyer, the aspect ratio, so I'm not surprised with what comes up. So they generate an A4 size A4 size flyer. Okay. Let's do the generate an A4 size. So let me put the logo here. Also generate a logo and put it on the flyer. All right. Is there anything I'm missing for the flyer? We just want to show what's possible. All right. So we click enter. This is ChatGPT. Let me see if there's anything on the chat. It's creating it right now. All right. So we created a flyer for our catfish business with ChatGPT, and we want to see what it comes up with. We showed you don't have to get a website developer, designer any longer, unless you're doing something that is outside of the scope of what we're talking about. And now we're showing how you can generate your own flyer in just a few seconds, by just putting in, what you want to see. There are many other things we want to show. We want to show video generation. We want to show voiceover generation. We want to show even creating jingles for your business. That's also very cool. generating social media content for your business. It's a lot. It's a lot that has been made very easy for us. Oh, there we go. Whew, look at that. So that's our flyer. I think it was better one. That's our flyer. How beautiful is that? So premium quality, proven skill, profitable investment. It has all the info on there. So now once we have this, we can now use it to create an ad on Instagram, on TikTok especially is huge for a business like this. I would definitely unless you want like a wholesale, then I think you could just go on Facebook and do an ad and just target a certain demographic or a certain particular type of investors. But yeah, you have this. You can put on your WhatsApp status and create an ad on your WhatsApp status. Actually, put on Instagram, Facebook, especially Facebook Marketplace. You put it there as one of the ads or one of the creatives you can use. So bam, in just a few seconds, we just saw ChatGPT create an ad. Sorry, a flyer for us. So for the same business, let's say if you wanted a video, okay. The free versions are very limiting. Yeah, it depends on what you're doing. Let's see how for the flyer, mine, this account is a free version, and for the flyer, I didn't really need anything crazy. I think what the pro version typically would do is if you're creating a lot. Let's say I'm creating, I don't know, I'm creating pictures for a book, and in one setting I'm creating like, I don't know, 100 pictures. Then probably at one point it's gonna be like, yeah, you're gonna have to go for the pro version. But if I'm just creating a few flyers or generating a few prompts, then the free version should do. So let's say for this same business or campaign I'm trying to do, I also want to create a video. So we can do what we call VEO. So let's VEO3. I don't know if you've seen videos on social media where people are creating all these. Some are, even drama. Some are even Christian web skits. Some are comedy and stuff. A lot of them are using VEO. In case you know, VEO. And once you put it in Google, you want to search for the one that has Google DeepMind. So you click that. It takes you here, and then you want to select try in Google Flow. So you can do Gemini, Google Flow, or build with VEO. I typically like Flow. So basically, each of them has its strength. But for me, I found Flow to be the best generator. Like it generates what is typically close to the prompts that I like. Like it gives me the results that are very close to the prompt, how I prompted it. So I typically choose Google Flow. So once I come in here, I see this. I see new project here. Okay. New project. Okay. So one thing you need to know is typically what it generates is limited by time. Okay. Let me see how I can really see here. This thing blocking my view. Okay, so we want to create a video with our catfish. And over here we can see the time, the specification. So if I select video on the right, we have as high as 10 seconds. Okay, 10 seconds. So what people might do is maybe create it in 10 seconds frames. Okay, clips, I mean. So video in 10 seconds, 1x 2x means how many results it will create for you. And obviously, and also with Google with Veo, it gives you credits, just like Lovable credits. I think this gives you credits every month to use for free, and if you want more credits, obviously you buy it. So this will give you 50 credits per month, I think. And every video would take about it says right here, generating will use 15 credits, 8 seconds we use 12 credits, 10 seconds we use 15 credits. So again, like I said, if I just want ChatGPT to help me, I mean, you can come up with an idea, but hey, let's say I just want ChatGPT to come up with an idea that maybe I could refine. Okay, so generate an idea for a video for an ad that's 10 seconds. Generate, let's say, a creative idea for this campaign. Enter. So we want to see how AI can help us create a video. Let's say you're someone that is not very good with camera work and all that stuff, you know. It's like confuses you, and you thought you were not creative because of that reason alone. You know, me and cameras just don't work together very well. I mean, I could take a selfie and stuff, but you know, the whole video I'm seeing people create with their, you know, phones and editing, yeah, that's not me. That's fine. Now you have AI. All you need to do is know what to prompt it. Okay. All right. So connection interrupted. Okay. Yeah, wasting my time. Alright, so again, we're on the video, and we showed Google Flow, sorry, Veo, VEO. You want to select Google DeepMind and then select create using Flow, and then it brings you here when you click create new project, and basically you just put in your prompt here and it will spit out a video for you. And what I'm showing right now is you can go to ChatGPT to come up with a prompt. Oh my god, what's going on with ChatGPT? Come on. All right, for my catfish business, catfish sales. Generate a creative idea for a video, a catfish sales. Nah, that's 10 seconds. All right, let me go back to the other one, see if it worked. I don't know what happened with my connection there, but it's just slowing me down. Okay. Let's see what idea ChatGPT comes out. There we go. I don't know what's happening with the other one. Close up of a fresh catfish. All right, so turn it into a prompt for AI to generate the video. Because AI knows how to prompt itself. So yeah, so let AI help you with the prompt. Okay, so let's see this. Create a 10-second. Okay, so let's try it. And, let's see if this will work. All right, so let's copy everything. Copy, go back to Google View. Where do I even have that? Let's see, this is it. Okay. So we have Google View selected. 10 seconds, boom. Paste it. I hope you see what I'm doing. We're still creating the video for our catfish business. Press enter. And as you can see, it's creating the video. We noticed some unusual activity. Oh boy. What a time to be showing this. Let me try the other one here. Something that doesn't look like it's my view. It looks like it's view in general. Okay, there we go. It's looking weird over here. What is this? All right, so let's paste the prompt and see what happens here. I don't even know what's going on with view right now. Okay. Since this is wasting my time, what I can also show you is this sucks. Okay, let's try it. There's also CapCut. CapCut can also create videos. I really wanted to show what video can do, but I don't know what's happening with video right now. Let me try it one more time. What is this? Okay, so Google View. Why is it even looking like that? Anyway, it's not working. All right, let me try the prompt one more time for view and see what happens. And just make it simple. All right, that's the reason, but for our next, all right, so we'll do voiceover, we'll do jingles. All right, so create a second. All right, so let's go back to it and see if it works this time. All right, view. Try and Google Flow. Why is it looking like that? It's so weird. Never happened. All right, let's try it again. Oh my God. I never seen this before. Oh, that's so weird. Anyway, so like I said, CapCut is also able to create videos. If it had been able to do it, you would literally have seen a video created for you, and it's just as easy as that. Literally, you will see a video created for you without you having to use anything. No cameras, nothing. So let me try it. Where's okay, I'm looking for my catfish. Okay. All right, so like this. I'm gonna try and use CapCut. It's a little different though, but because view is just the best. You might have to skip that video maybe for later because I don't know what's happening with view. So I'll just quickly show what CapCut can also do. Let me see. I don't even have time to. If you can see right here it says, yeah, we don't have time. That we can't even do. Okay, so we sent me out here to. And typically I use my phone for these, so a little on the laptop is a little different. Yeah. Okay. Let's just all right. Let me see as a prompt. Trying to create a video, but somehow view that was supposed to, yeah, this is not gonna work the way I want it. It's not gonna work the way I want it. Okay, so sorry for view acting up, but I wish it really didn't because I never seen it do this before. It looks like it's working now. Let's try one more time. Looks like it's working now. Oh god. It's queued. Okay, so we will come back to it once it's done. Alright, so just a few more things because time is really running out. It's not okay. I can literally go to it. Say. Okay, probably because of the fish. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's thinking I want the fish to talk or something, but so I also wanted to show if you wanted to create a voiceover because I know sometimes you might have a picture, you might have maybe some things, and some people struggle to, even when they create voiceovers, you can tell they were struggling. There's a program called 11 Labs. 11 like the number 11. So literally 11 typed out, ELEVEN, labs like laboratory with an S, labs, LABS, 11 labs .io. And like all of them, you know, it's free up to a certain point. They give you credits, same thing. And I mean, and you use a Google account to sign, create an account, simple. Any voiceover you can think, anything. I mean, you can use your voice. You can put in your voice and then put in text, and it will use your voice to speak the text for you, meaning you don't even have to read a text. That's how, you know, powerful these things are now. This is how it looks like. It's very simple. Let's say I wanted a voiceover for a video. I select that. I can say create a 30-second voice. No, I don't even know it creates videos now. I don't know. Second. video for my catfish sales. I'm actually just finding out how to create videos now. Okay, let's see if he's able to create something since Vio let us down. Oh man, I don't think we have time. It's asking me questions. Just come up with something. Let me see if something good. Let me see if he actually does that for me for the sake of time. All right. So we're trying to create I came here to create voiceover, but it sounds like, looks like it also incorporated video creating here. So let's see if it is able to do that for us. Okay, so we have it can generate it. So it's generating a video now. Since video let us down, let me see if it's working now. And sometimes this happens, you know, you just have to spend time and find out how to fix. Okay, so let's see if there's any times right now. Okay. All right. So let's see if it was able to create any video for us. Okay, this is still generating. I think flow. Fill it over here. Fill it over here. Okay, so yeah, we saw the website generated, we saw the flyer generated. We're trying to see the video generated, but at least you know where to go, and then you can try it, test it out for yourself. Like I said, you can do CapCut, but it's a little, it's not, it's, you know, you kind of have to learn a little bit more about it. But for Vio, you know, you just put it in the prompt, man. So you just put in the prompt and it does it for you. And then the last one I want to talk about, even though there's more programs out there. Let me see if it created anything. All right, so there's also what we call Suno. Suno is an AI music program that creates music for you. We've used it to create jingles for some stuff that we've done. And literally, it's crazy. You put in, I don't know if I can even be able to help you. So let's say I put in create a 10-second jingle for my catfish business in Ogun State, Nigeria. And I think the name, what was the name? It's probably the last we're gonna show for the sake of time. What's it? The name is Abaravan, the Superior Fish Farm. like music can be how you can even share your story. And so let's see what 10 seconds you can show. Say 15 seconds. So Suno is the app, SUNO, and it basically creates music for you. You can tell it create a hip hop, Afrobeat, gospel, whatever you have, you jazz. Okay. And once I put it in, it just creates it. It's creating right now. And it's creating 2 options. I don't even know how I can play for you to hear. Okay, I can do it here. Okay, so it's done creating. I'm gonna play for you to hear, so you see how crazy this thing is. Let's see. Oh. So, that jingles that they used to play for us on remember when we were young, it's like we actually used to look forward to commercials in Ghana because the songs were so catchy and we would sing along, like we were playing and singing the songs. Now you can literally create it for yourself in just a few seconds for your business. I hope you guys heard it. Let me see. And you saw how I created it with Suno in just a few seconds. Very powerful. Like I said, can use it for your business, for your jingles, for your ads. I mean, name it. And could you even share your story? Can use it to create background music, even for your business. You create a song. It can create a very long song that maybe has lyrics that talks about your business, and play it at your business when customers are walking in. Maybe talk about, and it will sing out maybe sales you're doing, something, and literally have it playing for you while customers are walking in and out. So that's another one. So I think so far the only thing we did not see is the video, which is not cool at all, because that's like my specialty. Video was acting up, but like I said, you can always go there and try yourself new project. Let me just try something simple. Maybe, I don't know if the prompt was too complex. So we actually don't feel like something was left out. Just quickly. So let me see. Create a video of a young African man holding a catfish and smiling and saying, "I love catfish." I make a video 16:9, just 8 seconds. Boom, let's see if it does this for us. Okay, and so this would be the last. So we discussed how you can create something's wrong with View today. I don't know what's going on with View. Sorry about that, guys. But I've used it a lot. It's created great videos for me. I think I've posted some on the Tribe Ghana app. Some of them. I've used it for businesses. I don't know what's happening today, but it would have literally just created that for us, and it would be just amazing. Again, like I said, you can try yourself. Just, and some of these things, just play with it. You play, it's free credits. You're not paying for it. You play with it, see what works, what doesn't work, and then look at how beautiful of a website I have. This website got me thinking I should start a clothing line. You have flyers. You can use Gemini, you can use Chat GPT, you can use what they call Mid Journey. You have voiceovers. You can use 11 Labs. For the sake of time, we can even click in this. I don't even know what's going on with this. Voiceovers, any voiceover you want, you can, they have even African accents, American accents, all of that in there. For your jingles, like I showed, and I hope you guys heard the song. It was just amazing to me, Thanks there. So yeah, voiceovers. You can make background music with Suno. Create music you can use for your business. And like I said, now, like what Madame Titi said, if tools was the reason why you felt like you weren't creative, well, now you have it through AI. It's brought everything at your fingertips, and all you have to do is just type it into the right program and just bring in your story, bring in your brand story, and just use it to your advantage and draw people to you, your business, and get the profit or revenue that you truly deserve. So I think, I can end it here for the sake of time, and if you have any questions. But yeah, over to you, Minister Tosin. If you have any questions too, I'm here. I would love to answer.
Wow. Can we keep the emojis coming? Today, these guys poured out. They poured out. I'm sure there's a lot of people who will go back and rewatch this video. Listen, the outage did its thing, but the process is the process. The steps are very clear. I think the guys went in. Alexi and Titi, I hope you can see the emojis. We really, really, really appreciate you both. What makes this very heartwarming is that these are two of our own. They are ours. You know what I mean? So it's amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you. We appreciate you both. That storytelling bit, oof, it was so good, so good. And Minister Alexi, he does do really wonderful videos, puts them on his WhatsApp, and if you go to Tribe Ghana page as well, you see some of those videos there. I think it's your turn now. You have to go back to these tools and just explore, put those ideas to the test. We really look forward to seeing your videos. Does anybody have any questions? I don't want to assume that, does anybody have any questions? Titi and Alexi are still here. Any particular questions? Did they say something that got you thinking? I'm going to give it like a couple of seconds just to see if there are any takers. And maybe when you go back and try it out on your own, okay, I see there's a hand there. Yes, yes, sir, over to you.
I was just curious, what is the pricing for Lovable? It looks like it's very useful. It looks like what I've been looking for my entire life. So I'm trying to find out what the pricing is. Does anybody know?
So they do, I think I did when I was building some websites, I did $20 goes up that's a pro plan. $20 will have, I think 5 members can share a whole bunch of credits, and you can basically use it to build so many websites. So it'll be at $20, around $20 per month, yeah. But typically once you build the website or build the websites you need, you can go back to the free, and because you're done with that many credits, and it will still be operating. Yeah.
Do you think it's something that I can use to build like a comprehensive website, like the tribe's website, a detailed website?
Yes, but you have to literally let it know what you want and probably tweak things, tell it to do this, do that, stuff like that. But it can definitely do that, and a lot of businesses have been doing that. Yeah, Lovable is up there right now.
Okay, thank you. And I hear that there is another one that you can use to build applications. You know which one that one is?
Lovable also builds apps. Literally,
Mm.
the website actually built some. So you use it. You can use it to build an app and then host it. But for Apple, you obviously have to use the Apple hosting and stuff. But yeah, it builds apps. You can try. I would love for all of you guys to try it just to see how amazing it is. Just build an app for yourself, and it will just do that for you. Ask you questions. What do you want to see here? What do you want to do that? And it will literally build an app that you can actually store on your phone, and it will be hosted by
Wow.
Lovable's server. Yeah.
This is a very, very useful training, and I think we should do a part two of this because there are many more tools out there that I think we didn't even cover. I'm currently on Apollo's website right now, signing up for Apollo right now. Jessica was just telling me about how you can use it for prospecting and stuff like that. So, guys, let's play with this thing. There's a lot of options out there that can help you build your business, and be a game changer for us, really. So, thank you, Minister Titi. Thank you, Minister Alexi. Thank you, Minister T. God bless you guys. This has been powerful, very, very useful. Over to you guys.
There's a question here again. Madam Allaputa Olabisi is saying, after creating my website, does it automatically appear when I search it on Google?
Okay, so I think I'd mentioned when you create it on Lovable, it will use it will give you a domain name which you can change, but it will have that Lovable attached to it. Now, if you want your own custom domain, let's say your business name and stuff like abovebrandcatfish.com, that you would have to buy that domain, and you can use it for the website that Lovable has built for you. You can even buy it from Lovable. Now, if you wanted to show up on Google, obviously, there's SEO. If you wanted to rank number one, obviously your website will need to probably be depending on the space you're in, like the industry you're in. If there's no strong giants on the Google page, first page rank, then you would have to fight for that page, which you can still use Lovable to create content, SEO related pages and stuff. It will do it all for you easily. But if you want to rank on Google, that's a separate strategy. That's SEO, search engine optimization, that some people literally sit down and work their website to be ranked as on the first page on Google. So, but definitely with Lovable, you can easily do that compared to before, where you can literally let Lovable create SEO website for you. Like let it know you want it to rank on the first page of Google in this industry for everyone in Nigeria, wherever you are, and let that be the foundation, and just have it just create with that in mind, and it can speed that up for you. So yeah, that's the answer. I hope that makes sense.
Awesome. Does anybody else have any questions? So this would definitely get a lot of people thinking, as it should be. I think fool around. We will definitely work towards doing a second part. We'll probably look for a use case that we can drive from start to finish. It may even still be the fish one, or it may be something else. But I think what you need to do from here, when you leave here, is that the links are there in the chat. Please grab them. Remember the steps. Try and do it by yourself. You may need to go back, rewatch, pause, and stuff like that. Just make sure you soak it in, and then you can apply it. You will find that you find your sweet spot or sweet combination of some tools, and that becomes your go-to place for yourself. If there are no other questions, then I will hand you over very quickly to Joy, admin, for some announcements before we close. Joy, if you're speaking, you're mute.
Oh, I am so sorry. I really thought I was in the center. Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Alexi and Madam Titi, for such a powerful presentation this evening. I hope you've all been blessed. Just before we go, a few announcements. This week in our various physical centers in Lagos and in Ghana, we'll be having our physical meetings. We've not had in like 2 weeks. So this is a special invitation to our tribe members living in Ghana and in Lagos, Nigeria. We'll be having a 5-hour prayer marathon in Lagos this Saturday, and the flyers will be out. Please do well to attend and also invite. Come with friends, come with family. We'll love to have them as well. Also tomorrow we'll be having the Kings and Priests in Christ meeting, and God's servant will be ministering. This is a meeting solely for the gentlemen in the house. So please invite all the men you know in your life to be a part of it. And on Thursday we'll be back for our 10-hour prayer marathon. So our week is packed already. So please do well to find time to attend either of these meetings, either the physical meetings or the ones happening tomorrow or Thursday. And also, if the Tribal Marketplace Ministry has been a blessing to you, please tell somebody about us. We are always happy to have new people join us and to just share God's love and God's word with as many that are out there. So share, word of mouth with someone, and do what to just invite a member of your family, a friend to be a part of us. We'd love to have you guys. Thank you so much. Over to you, Mr. T.
Thank you so much. Father, we give you praise. We're grateful. Thank you for this opportunity, oh God. We give you praise, Lord. We ask, Lord, that you bless those who have poured out of themselves today, that you replenish them. And Lord, I ask that you would help us to go from here, oh God, with these tools in a way that will glorify your name, oh God. We thank you for this privilege again. We thank you for this platform. Thank you for those who have made themselves available to be used by you, oh God, the founders, oh God, for your mercies, for your grace. We're grateful, Lord. We give you all the thanks. Blessed be your name, Jesus. In Jesus' name we have prayed. Amen. Thank you so much, Sir Alexi and Producer T. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Bye, everyone.